YouTube, we are back with our third deck profile. This is Spoon's new Abdul list, something that we've been working kind of hard to get to work, but I'll let him tell you more about it. Yeah. So, without further ado.
So the ruler and J ruler for this is obviously Ebony Prophet. The J ruler side is Abdul. Al has read Harbinger of Despair.
I think you mean Kareem.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I like to call him modules because nothing happens when you play him. Ha, ha, ha.
Stupid.
Ha.
Anyway, getting on with the rest of what I'm trying to say.
I hate that card.
We couldn't tell.
He has his first ability is his special J activate. When you have the black special stone, Grubalesta, the sealing stone, in your stone pool, you can just pay 1 black and he will J activate. Otherwise, his J activate is pay 2 dark and 1 colorless to J activate him. And his other regular act ability, while he's just a regular ruler, is you can tap him to activate the ability, and something on your opponent's field gets -300, -300. I've only ever used that ability maybe once or twice. It was before I wanted to J activate him, but I had a lot of my stones and I just wanted to get a small weenie problem off the board.
Your weenie problem.
Yeah, shut up. But then, the good part, the J ruler side, has 2 of the best effects in the game. He is a 1000 attack, 1000 defense. He has 2 different abilities. His first continuous ability is enter abilities of cards my opponent controls do not trigger. So anything that gets its effect with the enter as it gets placed on the board does not happen. And then his other effect is it's an activate effect. It's you pay 0 and target Resonator or Addition loses all abilities until the end of the turn, and you may activate this ability up to twice per turn. Which is really, really sweet in a control deck, because you can just make things vanilla and not being able to do anything. And even if, like, let's say I'm playing Greg and he's playing Were-Rabbits and it swings with flying, I can use his ability to make it not flying and just block with it with a regular Resonator. So that's the ruler. Getting on to the Resonators. First one is Cheshire Cat, the Grinning Remnant. Really, really good card for this deck. It's its only really source of draw power. There's a couple cards in black that you can use to draw, but they destroy your life points, and in this, especially if you're playing against any kind of aggro or anything like that, life points are really important, so I don't usually try to use those, and they're not even in the deck. So this is your good way of getting draw power, and it also helps stack the deck for Humpty Dumpty, which I also play, which I'll talk to when I get to him. Very, very good card, and that's the reason why I run it. And even though sometimes it might get a little bit cloggy, it's still good to run it forward because it only costs 1. Next card I play is I play 2 Elvish Priest. He is to help get me a little bit more mana on the board early. He also just has a body, so even if I tap him for mana and my opponent wants to spend a turn attacking him to get him off the board, I'm okay with that because it saves me life points for that turn. But I run him over Gretel because my stones are slightly wacky. For right now, at least, I'm still in the process of getting a couple of the stones I need. But I don't really have enough targets for Gretel to go off. What's the word?
Consistently?
There you go. I don't have enough targets for her to go off consistently enough, so I run the Elvish Priest instead. And he's also a 1-drop, and he's something I can do on turn 1 if I don't get the will for Cheshire Cat if I don't have it in my hand.
I also enjoy him because, unlike Elvish Mystic, he has a big butt. He's a 4.
He is a 400.
It's great.
Yep. Next card I play, 2-drop, Nethart the Demon Knight. He is a 2 black will Resonator with 500 attack, 500 defense. He has a continuous ability. The summary of his ability is essentially that he has protection from white. He cannot be the target of spells or abilities by white card, and he cannot be dealt damage by white cards. So he's just good because he's a demon and he's searchable with one of the spells in the deck. And he's also just a good 2-drop. But I only play 1 because he is searchable, and there's other things that I would rather play. Next, we are going to have 2 Glinda the Fairy. She is a 2 green will, 500 attack, 500 defense resonator with 2 different effects. She has an enter ability that says target resonator you control cannot be blocked this turn, which is really, really cool for things like Mistopheles and stuff like that. And then she also has a really good activate ability. You can banish her, and you can cancel a target normal spell unless your opponent pays an extra 2 will for them. So if your opponent taps out for a big normal spell to try and maybe like hit something on your board, you can just banish her and then they don't get to do it. Really good. It's just a cancel with a body. Next card is a slightly new addition to the deck. I play 2 Vampire Staff. Mostly because it's also a 2-drop with a body, but the continuous effect is really good. At the beginning of your main phase, you flip the top card of your deck, and you gain life equal to the attribute will cost to it, and then your opponent loses that much life. It's just a little bit of life gain, and those couple life points can actually help in the long grind game, which usually is what happens with Ebony Prophet. You're in it for the long haul. So that just helps you out a little bit. And it's also a good target because your opponent might want to use Thunder on it, so that then they don't use it on your Prophet. Looking at you, Gregory. Next card is a really, really good card. I really enjoy this card, especially with some of the things I run in here. It's 3 Humpty Dumpty. He is a 3-cost, 2 blue will, 1 any will, 800 attack, 800 defense resonator. His real ability is in his activate, though. It's you pay 1 blue and banish this card. You look at the top card of your deck, and if it is a resonator, you put it onto the board. So you essentially can cheat stuff onto the top of your deck with Cheshire Cat, and then you can play him, or if he's already on the board, you can just use his effect, and you can just instantly get that on the board. Really, really awesome card. And he's also a fairly big body if you just want something to sit there and maybe block for you. Next card I play is 3 Laplacia, the Demon of Fate. He is one of the essential cards in this deck. He's a 3-drop, 2 dark will, 700 attack, 700 defense. He has 3 different effects. They are all amazing, especially in an Abdul deck. His first continuous ability is that your opponent must play with the top card of their their deck. Oh boy. Too many card games. The top card of their deck revealed. You are playing control. Information is the best thing that you can have about your opponent. If I know every single card that my opponent has drawn, playing the game gets much, much easier. His other ability is that at any time, you can look at the top card of your deck, which is also awesome because you can just, if you know what's coming, you know if you'll have an out to something. But it also helps for his last effect because he has an activate ability. You rest him, and you can mill the top card of both your and your opponent's decks. So if your opponent has like a really important key card on the top of their deck, and you just kind of have nothing that's important to you at the time, you can just tap him, mill off both, and you've essentially lost nothing while your opponent's maybe lost a key card to their...
So when you need your treasuries and your opponent mills them off.
Greg's not salty at all.
It's okay, I almost milled out to this card.
That's very true. That was the clutch Zeke's there when you had 2 cards in your deck.
Oh, yeah. Cheers to that one.
Yes, very, very good card. Would highly recommend playing in any kind of control deck. Next, the last 3-drop is 3 Guardia, the Guardian Dragon of Heaven. He is, again, the 3-drop, 2 green will, 800 attack, 800 defense. His enter ability is what I really like using him for because he can help cheat your Special Stone Grublesta onto the top of your Magic Stone deck so that maybe if you need to get Ebony Prophet off, a little bit sooner than you had anticipated, you can just make sure that you can do it for 1 instead of having to pay for the 3. But his other effect is actually really, really good too. It's an activate effect. You can tap him and target Resonator you control gains plus 400 plus O until the end of turn, which is exceptionally strong, especially with the next card that I'm about to show you. And let's just go ahead and get right into him. I play 3 Mistopheles, the Abyssal Tyrant. He is the big finisher card that I have. With Abdul's effect, when it's on my turn, I can essentially cancel and make him a vanilla at the end of the turn, and you do not have to sack one of your creatures to him. So you just kind of get this big, awesome beat stick for free. And again, he still has flying and target attack, which...
Isn't like the only downside to him, too?
Yeah, that's the only downside, is that you have to normally sack a creature. But with Abdul, you don't have to do that. So I can have up to 2 of him on the board and just use both of Abdul's effects on them at the end of turns.
I'm not saying it's the bane of my existence.
Yep, and then also if your opponent wants to get rid of it with a spell or something, they have to probably take 500 for that, which also helps in a control deck, because every little bit of damage counts. And for the last Resonator that I play 2 Hamlin's Pied Piper. It's a 5-drop blue card, 1,000 attack, 1,000 defense. This card can win you games on its own if you play it at the right time and your opponent is in a bad spot, because it has an enter ability that when it enters the board, rest target Resonator your opponent controls. It does not untap until this card leaves the field. Its continuous effect is also essentially the same thing. And because it's so big, you usually don't have to worry about anything killing it unless your opponent has Dracula or some really, really big thing on the board already. When it swings, you can tap down a Resonator, and it also doesn't untap until he leaves the board. So essentially, if you swing with him every turn, you can be tapping things down every single turn. And that's good if you just want to get a blocker out of the way and make sure you can swing in for game. Or if you have, like, Mistopheles on the board... you can swing with him, tap something that could potentially block Mistopheles, and then make sure Mistopheles can get in for a game, or use his target attack in order to hit something that you really want off the board. Really, really good card. Really amazing when you cheat him out with Humpty Dumpty. And then on to the spells. I play 1 Zeke's, the Ancient Magic. This really big, awesome card again. I only play 1 because we don't have any more to spare, or I would be running it at 2. It has all the different effects. It'll up in all the 2 videos, so I'm not going to go over all of them. I mainly play it because it can cancel a Resonator and it can make one of my cards untargetable, which really, really helps with a whole lot of stuff. I've also used the plus 200 to get over something with Mistopheles, because I was playing against Musketeers and Athos gets really, really big. Next, I play 2 Absolute Cake Zone. You are playing Control. Having cancel spells is great. It's a 2-drop, 1 green, and then a colorless, and it cancels a normal spell. Really, really sweet to have. Next, I play 4 Law of Silence. I've got the whole playset in here and none in the side deck because, again, you're playing Control, and if you can make sure that they don't do anything for multiple turns in a row, there's a good chance that you're going to win. It happened to me today. I Law of Silenced someone for 3 turns in a row, and there was just nothing he could do. So, exceptionally amazing card. If you're playing green, you should probably play at least 1 copy of it. Next spell is going to be 4 Summoning Art of Alzred. It's essentially Abdul's summoning card. Its normal effect is you pay the 2 and then you can search out a demon and put it into your hand, but because my ruler is Abdul or Ebony Prophet, I get to play it for free. It doesn't take any will to play. You can just play it as soon as you get it and then search a card. It's a really awesome card. almost lastly, I'm playing 2 Stoning to Death, only because we don't have any more of it right now. I would probably bump it up to at least 3 because it's a good removal spell because it just hits anything. Thank you, Kelley. But it's just a good removal spell again. Control deck, you need to be able to control the board. I hate you so much, Kelley.
You should silence yourself on there, Kelley.
Yeah.
Yay.
And then for the last card, it's your big finisher card if you've gotten to exceptional late game. It's Necronomicon. Necronomicon has 3 different effects, 2 of which are amazing, 1 of which is not so amazing, but again, you can cancel that out with this guy right here. Its first ability is that you may play cards in your graveyard as though they were in your hand. Its second ability is if a card would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, remove it from the game instead. And unlike all the other stuff that say banish the card and it still goes to the graveyard, this specifically says remove from play, so it actually gets removed from the game. And then its last effect is at the end of your turn, discard all your cards. So what it's supposed to do is you can only use the things in your graveyard, and then after you use them, when they try to go back to the graveyard, they'll get banished. But with Abdul, at the end of your turn, you can just cancel it and make it not have any abilities, so you don't have to do any of that. It's completely amazing late game. And that's the last card I play in the main deck. And now on to the stones. I play 1 Grublesta the Sealing Stone. It taps for a black. It has the ability to tap it in 1 black and give something +0, -200. I think I've used that effect maybe 1 time the entire time I've played it, but I run it just because it makes Abdul be able to J-activate for 1 stone.
No, you killed a couple of my things with that.
Yeah, like little weenie things, like super end game.
You killed things. I've been there.
Then I play 2 Magic Stone of Black Silence. I play 2 because we don't have 4 that I can play. We are running low on the stone count right now. But at least I have 2 of them because it taps for black and green. Black's my main color, and then a lot of the spells that you play in this game are 2 green devotion, so you need the green. Which is why I'm going to eventually play it at 4. Next stone I play is I run 3 Magic Stone of Deepwood. It covers green and blue.
Keep going.
You keep going.
It doesn't cover the main color in the deck, but it's a good stone to have for the 2 secondary colors. So that's the reason I run that instead of just like maybe a regular black stone. And then finally, 4 Magic Stone of Dark Depth. Taps for black or blue. Should be kind of self-explanatory at this point. Just covers black so that I always have a source in black, and then gets blue so that it's another good stone target for Cheshire. For that first turn, Cheshire. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole main deck. I don't have a side deck right now because we're still testing out some stuff, and we actually don't really know what the meta is going to be like in our area right now. Most of our side decks are just kind of built to play against each other's decks.
Be dicks to each other.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of how it is.
I mean, yeah, basically.
Yeah. So that's the deck, guys. If you have any questions, comments, think you did something better, let us know in the comments. And just remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and look forward to more videos from us. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.